What's up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. Welcome to episode 6 of Make or Break, the prep series for the Load the Kilos Classic, the Powerlifting America qualifying meet that I'll be doing for Powerlifting America Nationals, as well as my final opportunity to PR my total for this year. You guys already know what's up, man. This is pretty much it, man. We are just it's Tuesday, so we're literally just like 4 days out from competing at this point. And it's funny because this is going to be the last episode until meet day. And originally, my thought process of what I was going to do was what I typically do: either show you guys the full week 3 SBD leading into the meet, but then I was like, I typically do that. Let me do something different. So I really recorded all of my week 2 training, like all of it, like the primary day, the secondary day, tertiary, everything, the top sets, back downs, accessories. I recorded all of it. I was like, okay, I'm going to take them through a full week of training and kind of show them like what these are looking like on my week 2 now relative to how these were looking on week 2 when I was having to run the 5-week blocks. Then I'm back on the 4-week blocks. I was going to do that. But as I was going through it, and I did record all of it, and I even posted all this footage to Instagram, I was just like, man, I'm not really feeling this. I don't want to do this. And you guys already know how I am, man. Like when it comes to the content, like it has to either be informative where I'm teaching you guys about a certain topic. It has to be educational where I'm teaching you how to apply the things you've learned, whether it be from a program perspective or technique perspective, how to actually like apply it and go about doing it yourself. Or, with a lot of these training vlogs, it has to be like, motivational in some way or another. Something where it's not putting out content just for the sake of content, right? Or just to fill a slot for like a episode for a series or whatever. It's like I want the content to actually be something that I enjoy putting out and something that I think is actually valuable to you guys. And as I was going through it, I'm just like, I'm not really feeling this. Like I'm not about to say anything that they haven't heard me say before. I'm not about to like show them anything that's like super relevant that justifies a whole video for it. Like the only thing I'll say about like, the week 2 and then week 3, and I'll even show it, right? So my week 2 SBD, I hit 440 pounds for my top double on squats. I hit 347 pounds for my 3 singles on bench press, and then I pulled 529 pounds. Now, with the squat, you guys know, like going into for last macro, for the final block of last macro, we did triples, then doubles on the week 3, and then we ended up hitting a PR single on the week 4. Well, this time around, since we actually were planning, for the meet and planning for singles instead of doing triples, doubles, and then singles, since, during that block of last macro, technically it was supposed to be a double to finish out the block, but we just called it an audible and hit a PR single. We set ourselves up for the singles this time. So I did triples on week 1, doubles on the week 2. I hit a single this past week 3, and then I'll hit another single, of course, on meet day here in a few days, right? So that's it for the squat, and then everything else with the bench and deadlift is like the usual, right? Where I hit my 3 singles on weeks 1 and 2. This past week 3, I hit 2 singles, and of course on meet day we'll be hitting 3 singles leading up to the primary week 4 top set, third attempt. It's all the same thing. However you want to look at it, right? So as far as how everything felt on the week 2, everything felt really, really good. Like it felt the way that a week 2 typically does when my fitness is obviously like lower coming off of week 1, but it felt so much better than what week 2 felt last block and the block before because we were having to adjust and run those 5-week waves. So now that we're back on the normal 4-week wave, things are feeling normalized, which even though it feels normal, it feels a lot better than being under that extra fatigue from having like that week 0. So that felt really, really good as far as week 2. And the same thing this past weekend for week 3. I squatted 474 pounds for the squat single. I benched 363 pounds for the 2 singles, which is way better than week 3 of last block where I hit like 350 and then 358. I hit 363 for both singles, and they felt really, really good. And then I hit 573 pounds for the week 3 deadlift single, and that felt excellent, honestly. Like it was a little bit weird at lockout where it kind of slipped in my hand just a little bit, just because, and it's so funny, I was using one of the most worn out bars of the gym, and I always remind myself, hey, when I use this bar, just to make sure that I either swap it out before deadlifts or that I just make sure I chalk my hands. I usually don't chalk my hands for anything under 600, but with that bar I do. And I forgot to do both. I use the same bar because I was using it for squat and bench, forgot to swap it out for deadlifts, and I forgot to chalk my hands. So grip was just a little bit weird in my left-handed lockout, but grip's the last thing I'm ever worried about when it comes to my deadlift. So no real big major concerns there. But yeah, that's what I want to show you guys as far as the training, because like everything else is pretty straightforward, man. It just, like I said, I couldn't justify going through a full week of training just to repeat and say and show the same stuff that you guys have already seen before during this prep series and even before then. So instead, what I want to focus on with this episode really is just my final thoughts, right? My final thoughts of prep before going into this meet. And really just my final thoughts of just how training has been since the Lone Star meet, right? Because at this point, by the time we compete this upcoming Saturday, it will be 25 weeks of training, right? Just because, we had we had 3 normal 4-week blocks, and then we had a couple of 5-week blocks, and now we're about to go into the week 4 of this current block, right? So 25 weeks of training, pretty much, between 5 and 6 months in total of preparation. And this has been the most fun that I've had training in a couple of years. You guys already know my last prep was not a lot of fun for me mentally. It was kind of like, hey, I'm in it, I'm locked in, I know what my goals are, I'm trying to push myself against like the people I was competing against, a lot of them being like, my clients or my clients' clients, as far as the Lone Star Strength Classic. And even though the meet day went okay, I hit the squat PR. You guys know it kind of went downhill from bench with the weird nerve thing that happened on my third attempt bench, and then everything that happened with deadlifts. But more than just the meet itself, the prep just wasn't very fun because there was still a lot of tinkering, trying to figure out what's going on. Why am I not making the progress I was making before? Why are the things that we have tried before not working? Why is intensifying things that we had before not working? Which, of course, you guys know how all that led to the current structure we have now that's been working really, really well. And it's just been a lot of fun, man, not just because of hitting the PRs, that's of course always fun, but just the way that I've been training in general has been a lot of fun because I've been able to push myself. Like on any given day, there's always something to push, even on the earlier weeks, like week 1s and 2, whether it be in the form of accessory work or a higher rep type of set on a secondary day, whatever it is, like it's just a fun way for me to train because I feel like I'm always doing something that's beneficial. I know that everything that I do, every rep of every set and every movement is ultimately going to lead to success coming into the final heavy SPD day of the block. So I've really been enjoying that. I've learned a lot about myself as a lifter, but as always, through going through some of these experiences and tinkering with different things and playing with different programming things, it's also helped me learn a lot as a coach. I've gained a lot of tools that I've been able to utilize and use for my clients, which is why so many of them did so well this past USAPL Nationals and why they continue to do well with these upcoming meets and why they're seeing while you're seeing some of my clients like burst through these humps and these stalls and just making really good consistent momentum and progress again because I'm learning so much from my own training. And that's something that I always do appreciate. Like, don't get me wrong, you guys already know, you do not have to continuously compete to be a good coach. So long as you're still keeping your knowledge base up, you're gaining experience, with just what you're doing, you're learning from other people, learning from other lifters, you can be a great coach. But for me, it would be lying to say that me continuing to compete and continuing to train the way I do and push the way I do does not give me an edge or an advantage, if you will, when it comes to the coaching realm. Because it's like I am super invested in what I'm doing with my clients because I'm doing it myself. I can relate to my clients both mentally and emotionally because I'm going through it myself. And like my problem solving skills are just better because I'm having to problem solve with myself, right? So I've obviously I've been pushed as a lifter. I've grown a lot as a coach. I've hit the PRs, and it's just giving me a really deep gratitude for training again, right? And I think that's the thing. Going through the down period that I did this first half of the year, and even like the later half of last year, where training just wasn't great, but I still was coming in and getting it done and putting in the work and still being locked in to the degree that I can control. It's because I was able to do that then, it's been so easy to do it now that things are going well, right? So no matter what happens this weekend, I am incredibly happy and incredibly blessed, and thank God and all glory to God for just where things are at right now as far as training. Like life in general is a blessing. I'm very blessed, beautiful wife, beautiful daughter, successful business, successful part-time owner of another business in the form of Powerlifting Now. Like that's all great, but it's just so nice that the thing that I just enjoy, the thing that's just for me, that's fun for me, the thing that I don't have to do, but I choose to do, because at the end of the day, I don't have to keep competing. I don't necessarily gain anything financially from competing, or it's not necessarily like, at this point, like if I never compete again, I don't think it's gonna hurt my coaching at this point, just because of where things are at, right? But I do it for me because I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the process of getting better, of pushing myself. Seeing the success of others still motivates me, whether it's people that are kind of like behind me and they're trying to catch up, whether it's somebody I'm neck and neck with, whether it's people like, Joseph Bornstein, Angelo, my clients, Chris Perez, Sean Noriegas, all those top level 83s, right? Seeing them do so well and wanting to push myself to chase after them, not in the sense of necessarily think I'm ever going to catch up, but in the sense of, hey, if they can lift these numbers, there's no reason that I can't get closer to a 600 squat, a 400 bench, a 700 pull, right? It's like, it motivates me still. I still very much enjoy just the process that is powerlifting. So I'm very grateful to be back at that point where I'm just fully having fun with it again. And no matter what happens the coming weekend, I'm glad to be at that point, because I know that if things don't go well at this meet, it will not be from a lack of effort on my part. It won't be from not knowing what to do with the programming. If things don't go well this upcoming week, it's just from a lack of execution at the end of the day. or maybe there's some things to tweak a little bit with how we taper things off, since this is like the least aggressive taper that I've ever done. Which if you guys want to know more about like how things are going to be looking like taper wise, make sure you are subscribed to Powerlifting Now, because I'll be going over the craft method to the minimalist tapering process. That video will drop December 1st on Powerlifting Now, so you guys be sure to check that out. And as another side note, while we're on the topic, just know that going into 2025, on top of the content you guys usually get from us, which is of course 4 videos every month, one from me, one from Steve DeNovi, one from Matt Cronin, one from Sean Noriega, as well as the Roundtable podcast from all of us. We are also now halfway through each month going to be releasing either a live Q&A, so it'll be a live Q&A that goes on through the platform one month, and then the next month it will be just live technical feedback. We're just going to be doing technique reviews over videos, and it'll go back and forth each month, like 1 month Q&A, 1 month technical feedback on videos that are sent in our way. So for those of you who are subscribed to Powerlifting Now, look forward to that. Those of you who aren't, you should be. It is the Powerlifting Library. Any and everything that you could ever want to know about powerlifting from every perspective, go ahead and check that out. But now that the shameless marketing is done, but yeah, I'm very, very excited to know that like I've done everything that I need to prepare myself for this meet. With that being said, I'm not saying that as a justification, right? It's a balance. It's not this thing where it's like, even though yes, how the meet goes doesn't take away from all the work put into the prep, at the end of the day, all the work put into the prep is for a very specific result that I want on meet day, which you guys know is to PR my total. I want to PR my total by my second pull and then see what's left. And realistically, I want to land anywhere between 715 and 730. So anywhere from a 15 to 30 kg meet PR. And I have to. If I want to set myself up for my goal of next year at PLA Nats, if I PR the total then, it'll be 10 years of powerlifting and 10 years of PR my total, then I absolutely have to be able to PR the total this year. So we're going to see how that goes in the next few days, but I'm excited. I'm excited because I really do believe it's going to go well. This is the most confident I've ever felt going into a meet. It's the most fun that I've had with the prep, and it's objectively the strongest I've ever been in terms of hitting all-time PRs on the squat, all-time PRs with bench, and deadlift. You guys know we don't necessarily push the same way, but just consistently being able to hit the threshold that I need to, easier and easier as far as in the low 600s. I feel very confident going into this meet. I am excited for a couple of things that Brad and I are going to be playing around with post this meet to try to really get the deadlift to elevate even further now that we've got the squat and bench down for sure. But as a whole, I still feel confident I'm going to be able to go in and do what I need to do on all 3 lifts. So I'm really excited for that. All right, sorry about that, guys. Quick little brief weird intermission because somebody was at the door and Mino was barking to alert me what was going on. But anyway, yeah, like I'm excited because, like I said, I feel confident and ready to do what I need to do on the platform. I'm excited to compete with my boy Kyle. Excited to compete with Sean Jin. That's going to be a good time. We're in different weight classes, but as far as like, you know, the overall best good lift points or dots, however they're doing it, it should be a good time. And yeah, I know that I've done everything that I can do. And the rest just comes down to trusting myself on the day, trusting Brad to make the calls, and leaving the rest in God's hands. And it's been dope. It's been a good prep. I appreciate you guys for your support, as always, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. Like I said, anytime I'm in meet prep mode, or anytime I'm hitting PRs and training, or anytime I'm getting ready for a meet, like the support that I get from you guys is crazy. Y'all legit make me feel like I'm going to Worlds. Like that's how much love y'all show me, and I really do appreciate it. It gets me hyped. I'm excited to go out there, lead from the front, be an example, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to get my little final thoughts out there. I'm in a good headspace, but the job's not done yet. Until I put down that 3rd deadlift and secure the total I want, the job's not done yet. But I have a pretty good feeling that this meet's going to be, you know, quote unquote, the one. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what can get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.